Mulligan from Providence College on her new book on equal coverage about the Affordable Care Act. But I would now like to welcome my next guest in, Dr. Christina Connett, the Chief Curator at the New Bedford Whaling Museum. Thanks for joining us in studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it. We're hoping for a springier day here in downtown Providence, but we're going to take the weather that's given to us, and as we know, that can't do much about the weather, but if you're looking to get out and about and going to the Whaling Museum, you're the Chief Curator. If folks are planning on a visit, what will they find at the museum right now?
Well, people have a bit of a misnomer that we're the New Bedford Whaling Museum, but we're also the Old Dartmouth Historical Society. So we tell the regional history of the south coast of Massachusetts as well. And we also have a major international collection of fine and decorative arts. So you really can find almost anything at the New Bedford Whaling Museum.
So tell us about a few of the current exhibits. I mean, how often, if you've visited, recently, I mean, how often does it shake up?
Well, last year we had over 16 exhibits change over, so we're very active. We have a ton of programming. I think last year the count was about 250 programs that we hosted at the museum. We have lecture series all the time, so we just are in the midst of the Sailor series. So if you're into yachting, we have wonderful talks with different designers and photographers and all kinds of people involved in yachting, which is fantastic. We also have next week's spring break activities. So we have Right Whale Day on Monday, which is free to New Bedford residents. And we have all kinds of activities. We have a life-size humpback whale that's blown up, and kids can go inside. And grown-ups too.
That sounds like that would be a crowd favorite.
It's really, really fun. Sadly, we won't have it in time for next week, but if you come back after April 26th, we're going to have a life-size blue whale heart model. That's the same size as a VW bug.
That's the size of a heart of a blue whale?
It's the size of a heart of a blue whale, and as part of our comparative anatomy exhibits that we're opening actually in partnership with the U.S. Navy. And we're really quite excited about that. So please come after the 26th of April to get a chance to crawl inside a blue whale heart.
Well, that answers my question of how often things shake up. The website is fantastic. We'll have links for that as well to see what's at the museum. But you're the curator. You know, we're at the final end of seeing the results of months and years that go into it. And to the average museum goer, they don't know how the process works. I mean, talk with us a little bit, maybe give us a little behind the scenes tour, if you will, through your approach to working with others in the museum and beyond, as you mentioned again, the different exhibits, and how the process starts and the stakeholders, and from soup to nuts, how one goes about creating a new exhibit.
Sure. Well, I'll give you an example of a major exhibit we're doing this summer is an off-site and on-site exhibits of our grand panorama of a whaling voyage around the world, which is a moving panorama. It's 1,275 feet long and 8 feet high. And it was a public spectacle that was traveled around the U.S., very much like a similar types of entertainment in Europe at the same time. Ours was shown in Boston and all over the country. It hasn't been seen in its entirety for over 100 years at this point.
Oh, wow.
And it will be shown off-site in its entirety this summer starting June 30th, and we'll have a major exhibit also at the Whaling Museum main campus. But to answer your question, we've been looking at conserving this piece for over 20 years.
I was going to say.
We finally, so it's actually like a film canister. Like if you remember film, my friends, the old way, before digital, it was like different spools that were changed out. There are 4 different spools during a performance, and there'd be an intermission. So that action actually had a major impact on the artifact itself. So it's taken us 10 years to raise the funds to conserve the piece, which took 2 years, and now we're ready to finally exhibit it in New Bedford. And we're premiering this summer, and it will be traveling to different sites in the next couple of years around the country.
This is a labor of love.
It's a labor of love.
Because I mean, you have something that's old and needs to be kind of put back together, if you will. I mean, you must have to bring historians in to say, this goes here, and this goes here, because again, this isn't a Lego set. There's not some plans on how to do it.
Yep.
I mean, that in and of itself must be an involved process.
It was a very involved process, and it includes a lot of our community partners, actually regionally and nationally, internationally, because it is a voyage around the world. It starts in New Bedford Harbor, and it goes across to the Azores and Cape Verde, and as you probably know, we have a very large and important Azorean Portuguese community and Cape Verdean community in New Bedford, as well as Latin American and many other new immigrants to the area. So we're trying to use this as the fabric of the city to really talk about immigration and how all of these different kinds of community members and different languages have all come into New Bedford to influence the fabric of our city.
And it's a very interactive museum because you have the exhibits, but you do so many talks. I mean, on
Mm-hmm.
average, how many talks would one find at the museum a week, would you say?
I'd say we have at least 2 or 3 a week, and then we also host a ton of community events and other activities. So we run the gamut. And the summer is a very big season for us, but people always ask, oh, the winters are downtime, and it's definitely not.
I think next week's gonna be a little exciting with the youth will be served in the museum.
Yeah, we have a lot of wonderful docents who do great activities with kids and lots of really fun things. So please come down and learn about whale biology, to maritime history, to fine arts. It's really quite a lot of fun.
Sounds like something for everyone, right?
There's something for everyone. So we have everything from textiles, beautiful glass, to a discovery center for little kids, and they can climb around in a life-size forecastle of a whale ship and pretend to be on board. And so there's something for everyone at the museum, something quiet, something sophisticated, something fun and smelly and fun to hold. So we have something for everyone.
So you can go on the whale ship, you can see the life-size replica of the whale. Will you be able to go into the heart of the whale?
Absolutely, yes. So a grown adult can get into the life-size blue whale heart. It's really quite fun. It's huge. I mean, it's coming on a ship from New Zealand at this moment. So we're going to be unloading it and installing it in a couple of weeks. We're very excited.
Well, I hope you could document that as well, because that sounds fascinating. Again, what goes into making a museum. You've given us little previews to what to expect. Anything else folks should know about the museum if they're going to either visit now or looking towards the summer?
Yeah, definitely encourage you to think about coming for a panorama event. We're going to have all kinds of wonderful activities around this grand panorama because, again, it touches on many parts of communities that exist in New England. When you walk around New Bedford, I used to live in Europe for quite a long time. It's like being in a little mini Europe, and you hear different languages. There's amazing food, really diverse, fantastic culture there, and we have actually met this morning with my Portuguese advisory committee. So we talk a lot with our committees and our constituents within the South Coast to find out what's important for our neighbors around New Bedford and in Providence, around New England. What are the important stories to tell, and how to get people engaged to feel like our museum represents their history, but also informs people about things they might not know about.
Well, it's fantastic. Again, just over in New Bedford, as Christina said, something for everyone and some exciting things to come. I appreciate your taking the time to come here into the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center. We'll provide those links for the museum. You can check it out. But thank you for giving us, again, a little behind the scenes.
Sure. Yeah, please check out whalingmuseum.org for all the activities that are coming up. We have a lot. It's very active and super fun, so please come visit.
Heard it right from the doctor. Thanks so much, Christina Connett.
Thank you.
I'll let you go around the
Thanks
corner,
for
and
having
we'll
us.
welcome our next guest here into the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast
Thank you
Center.
so much.
Thanks.